welcome back to the video. No,
welcome back to the channel, do you mean?
Well, welcome back to the channel.
Yeah,
okay, you're
so
up to the video.
Previously, before I started working here, Shaq did top 5 mods for a 140, but you didn't really know the 140, did you?
Well, we knew it, but we know more about it now than
well,
we did
yeah,
before.
you've learned.
Done a lot of research, haven't we?
So Shaq now, it doesn't look like 5, but we've got 5 more mods. What should we call them mods?
Packages.
5 packages you should, that's fucking annoying, isn't it? 5 packages you should do for your 140.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
And where do we start? Number 1.
You tell me, well, that would be a good way to start, wouldn't it?
So yeah, we'll start at number 1. Start with handling mods. So we've got our own Performance M suspension packages. The weakest point with the M140 that we find is suspension. This is literally a bog standard 1.2 suspension in a mighty engine. Number 1 would be the MMR springs with the Bilstein B8 shocks. Now we found these are a great pairing. So the B8s are a good shock anyway, great for fast road use, no crashiness once it's lowered, and much more direct when you're driving fast. Springs, MR, perfect lowering height for my liking, 20mm drop on the front, 30 on the rear. When you pair them up with the B8s do raise them slightly by about 5mm, so you tend to get about 15mm drop on the front, 25mm on the rear.
Which is like kind of the difference between mine and yours.
It is, yeah. You're running stock shocks with the MMR springs,
yeah,
and I'm running, obviously, the B8s on my one here. Also the fronts, which will take us to the next item that we add on these, is the M3, M4 arms. Big advantage of these, they're super light as well, have a feel them.
I'm joking.
Really light, aren't they?
Yeah, really
that's not the reason why you stick these in. You gain good amount of camber and caster. So we tend to see, once these are fitted, around about just over 2 degrees of camber, 7.5 degrees of caster.
What are normal M cars set up?
Normal M cars are around about 1.5 degrees on the front and about 7.5 degrees of caster. Standard M140s will tend to see about 1 degree of camber at the most and about 5 degrees of caster.
Yeah.
You can see just on the front here how the wheel's leaning over. And also it's further forward at the front compared to the back. So we get much more direct feel now on the steering wheel now. So when you jump in one of these compared to yours, which you have already, haven't you?
Yeah.
Much more direct when you're turning. Gives you a lot more confidence when you're in a corner, when you're not having to push the steering so hard. Another one which we did mention on the first video, power flex inserts. Issue with the rear subframe on these is the original bushes have voids in them. So when you get a GoPro on the back of one of these and take it out for a hard blast, you actually see the whole subframe moving. The feeling of that isn't great. So we've got these power flex inserts. So we sell these as a package, as part of the suspension package, or on its own, which we call it the power flex subframe handling package, which comes with front and rear inserts on the rear subframe and the diff inserts, which is in here. I'll just show you what these are like. So basically, where the void and the rubber is on the rear subframe bushes, it just fills that gap. That makes a big difference. Everyone that we fit one of these, customers always telling us how much the back end now feels a lot more sort of stable and planted.
Cool. Next,
which is not here on the table, rear anti-roll bar. Great upgrade, because the rear anti-roll bar on these stock are so thin, very small. What we tend to find is once we're going out in the car, back end would roll quite a lot. We've upgraded the rear anti-roll bar to H&R rear anti-roll bar. It's a lot thicker. When you turn in, the front and rear roll very equal, which is great when you're hitting a roundabout or in Mexico somewhere. And
you keep mentioning Mexico, you're gonna have to take me.
Yeah, I know a shortcut. So once we've done suspension, got to deal with brakes. Now standard brakes on these, in terms of discs, are actually really decent. It's a 2-piece from stock, which is a great benefit. 4-pot calipers on the front, 2-pot on the rear. These stock pads are terrible, absolutely awful. So once we tuned this and we went out on it, we were just getting brake fade within a couple of hard braking. So we highly recommend DS2 500 brake pads. These are absolutely brilliant. They are a little bit dusty, so you will be finding that
like you then.
Yeah, but I wash my car twice a day. What do you mean I'm dusty?
Getting old now, look at that hair.
Getting, yeah. DS2 500 brake pads, brilliant brake pad. A lot of people that ask me before they get this fitted, is it okay from cold, is it okay as a daily? Yes, from cold, they brake fine. It's when they warm up, they just get even better. And once you've done a few miles of them, and then go out and hit the roads hard, you'll notice such a huge benefit running DS2 500 brake pads over stock. Which brings on to our brake discs that we do. Stock brake discs are good, 2-piece, brilliant, but obviously the wear. So when it comes to renewal time, we recommend Performance M VBT 2-piece brake discs. There's a lot of companies out there now selling single-piece brake discs as an upgrade. Single piece is not an upgrade from the M140. 2-piece is equivalent to what's on the car now. Advantage of 2-piece, they are lighter than single piece. Secondly, they take heat a lot better than a single piece disc. So if you're hitting the roads hard, you definitely want to be going 2-piece over single piece. And the way we've priced these up, we do like a package with the brake pads, we do with brake lines, we even do MMR brake fluid as part of a package, so you can do front, rears, grooved or J-hook disc for all the DS2 500 brake pads as one kit.
Right, number 3.
Number 3.
You forgot to mention number 2. You just rolled straight in.
Did
number
I?
3.
Well, so we've done 1 and 2.
Yeah.
3. Of course, everyone wants more power. So this is where it gets really exciting. We have done a hell of a lot of research development into the software and a lot of the hardware that we now put in the M140 or generally in the B58 engine. What we say is stage 1 gets you the big massive bump in power and torque, so we tend to see nowadays around about 450 brake horsepower and 460 foot-pounds of torque just on the stage 1, and all you need for that is literally just the car. Chuck a panel filter helps a little bit, but that's all you need. From then they would say go straight to stage 2 plus, because really stage 2 is becoming less important now because the downpipes aren't making a huge effect in terms of power. Stage 2 plus, weak point on the power of these is the fuel pump. So we offer a Bosch B58 TU pump. Unlike a lot of the other companies, ours has the connector rotated the correct way around. So you can buy one of these, your warranty is still intact for 12 months. Unlike if you buy ones that aren't turned around, you have to either buy a harness or turn it around yourself, but once you do that, then obviously your warranty is void. The fuel pump, initially helps us with a huge amount of gain in torque at mid-range and top end power. Because stock fuel pumps are pretty weak. We just sort of run out of path at stage 2 really. Next for stage 2 plus, you need a VRSF sports cap or a D cap. These are 5-inch, as large as you probably want to go, gain as much power as possible. I tend to see around about between 460 to 480 brake now on our custom tune, and then we also do XHP gearbox flash, which then gets us the maximum torque we can get from that ECU tune. So all of this then, so we've got handling, we've got brakes,
power.
Okay, so they make such a massive difference to the M140. So all of a sudden now you can go out there and you'll worry a lot of cars now, quite a lot of fast cars that are on the road, not just only on the straights, also on bends, on country roads. That takes you on to the next thing, doesn't it? So once you've got all the handling mods and stuff, what do you need? You need a diff. We supply here M Performance discs from BMW, and also Wave Track dealers. Mine is running Wave Track. You've been out on it, haven't you?
Yeah.
See how much you can put the power down on the straight, you can put the power down really when you're going around the corner, especially a day like today, so when we go out later.
One thing for me with the diff was how less snappy your car is compared to mine. You're coming off a roundabout or you're coming out of a junction, and where you'd put power down in mine, it'd be so snappy, whereas obviously the power delivery in yours, it's smooth, because it's not smooth.
It's unpredictable, isn't it, with an open diff, so you don't know which wheel's going to end up putting the power down. It depends which one's slipping and how the car's going to react. But when you're running you're running 480 foot-pounds on yours, aren't you? Yeah. This is running 530 foot-pounds peak torque. When you're running high torque, it becomes even more important that you need to know how your car's going to react. We went out on this one, we could hit a corner sort of midway through, we put some power down and the back end just slid out nicely. You know what it's going to do, you can easily bring it back in again. It's very smooth transition between it coming out and coming back in again. After all that's done, you've covered all the serious stuff, then you want it to sound really good. So we've gone for a few options, haven't we, which in yours, we've got the Scorpion non-res on yours, haven't we?
Yeah, Scorpion non-res.
And mine, because it's on the sports cap, we've gone for a resonator because I wanted to get rid of that sort of raspiness out of it. So we've gone for a resonated Remus exhaust with chrome tips on the back of that. And it's amazing how different these two sound, isn't it? Yeah, mine's a lot deeper and throaty. I think that's because I've got the stock cap still in. Well mine sort of sounds a little bit more like a smooth 6-cylinder engine sort of sound to it. A bit loud, but not, I don't think it's as loud as yours, is it? I don't think.
No, I don't think so, and it's weird considering you've got a 5-inch sports cap, but like I said, you've got a resonated section.
But also the other option as well, you don't have to go for a full system. You don't need a system at all. If you just want it to sound good, the other good option is what we sell a lot of, is Scorpion double res delete. So you can keep the stock back box, go for a double res delete, so it removes the front and middle resonator, stock back box, and makes it sound amazing. Or if you've got an OPF car, it removes the OPF, the second resonator, and you have that mapped out as part of your tuning package.
Start it up now, see what it sounds like. Let's go.
Also, cold starts off. So granny mode.
It's boring. Granny mode.
Yeah. So on cold start, it's quite quiet, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. Like you said, it's less raspy than what it used to be with the Miltech. No, sorry, it was less raspy than it used to be with the Scorpion and the sports car. But I like it. It's nice.
Sounds a bit different, yeah. And also because I've gone resonating, most guys like to go non-res because they want it loud as possible. But when you get to my age, You just want it a little bit quiet, so it just sounded a bit different.
He says with a sports cat in it. Should we see what mine sounds like?
Bloody hell, mate. Needs a wash. What's the state of this? You know what I'm going to get you for Christmas?
What?
A bucket and sponge. You've been off-roading.
It's just down there. It's what these guys have got us doing. They've got us parking like in the wilderness down there because there's no room.
Change this into a four-wheel drive thing.
Yeah. So mine's actually got the cold start in still. It's quiet up until the cold start comes off.
So oh yeah, valve shot, that's why. Cold start on, valve shots.
This guy's supposed to run a performance company, he doesn't even know what's going on.
I know what's going on.
See, from what we found out on your car, this Scorpion sounds better with stock cat.
Yeah, I say that sounds better with a stock cat, and the Remus Resonator sounds better with a sports cat or a D cat. But everyone's really different. So we get customers coming here that want a D cat, double res delete, back box delete. So you know, this is what it loud as possible. For me, it's not just about volume, it's also making it sound good. So everyone's different, aren't they? For me, I just like the sweetness of the 600s come out more than
like
just
I said
volume.
before, you're dusty. Dusty
tell
old
you,
man.
I don't know what that is. So today's a good M140 day.
It is, yeah.
It's a good day to get out. So, put it in Sport Plus, you can have a listen to the exhaust. Manual mode. I like it manual.
Straight away the exhaust is less drone, not droney, it's less deeper than mine.
It is, yeah. The Remus has a slightly higher tone, doesn't it?
Yeah, so mine's really, yeah.
So it's not a deep tone, is it?
No.
So, a few things you'll notice is how direct the steering is. It doesn't need a lot of input. And then we'll go on this roundabout in a second. Hopefully it's in 140 from the meter come past. I'll hit this roundabout and you can just see how little roll there is. God, that's a baby seat. That's not fastened to it. We'll have to fasten that.
Yeah, there's a lot less roll, and
yeah,
it's not, the car's not wanting to
shift at all.
There's no understeer, there's no slight oversteer.
No, you can come around the corner here. You can just back end kick out of it.
Yeah, it's like we spoke about before though, you come off that roundabout and you're able to put the power down a lot more than I would be able to in mine.
Yeah, it's not skittish or anything at all, is it?
No, and it did have a little blip, but like you said, it's predictable, you were able to counter it, whereas me, I'd have to let off because...
It's even mid-corner, sort of half corner here, just plants it. Brakes, they stop as well, which is handy.
Yeah.
When you want that sort of power.
Yeah, sometimes in mine I brake and then I realised, oh, I have to brake a bit more, do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, these stop pads, like I said before, were awful. These are really good, really like the DS2500 brake pads. Another big thing obviously is the gearbox movement.
Yeah,
you notice how fast the shifts are. We always recommend XHP, stage 3. You get really quick shifts.
There's literally no squirm in this car anymore.
It's not at all, is it?
And considering the horsepower difference between mine and yours is very minor, so there's 30 brake give or take.
Peak, yeah.
But the torque is what?
So this is 530 peak, so yours is 480 peak.
Yeah.
But don't forget, yours is 480 then it drops off, doesn't it?
Yeah, massive.
Well, this stays over 500 foot-pounds for 2,500 RPM,
all the way
so 5,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like around this corner here, you just bounce it around the corner and just keep it pounded.
Yeah.
Today's a great day for it. I mean, it's so stable as well.
Yeah, mine, it's weird, you can feel the chassis and the shocks, it's unsettled. It's very unsettled, the car. It's squirmish. Like you said, these F20 chassis, they move a lot.
They do, yeah. The subframe moves a lot. The stock shock absorbs. I had adaptive on this before, which we've coded out. We put the B8s on. The stock shocks are okay. That's as far as you can go. But they're not good enough for a performance car. And when you drop them, they're even worse. So chucking some B8 shocks on it with the MMR springs,
springs on, so it squats a lot more, and it doesn't allow a lot less. It's a lot less rolly.
Yeah.
But it's just so crashy on the shocks.
It is, yeah, and that's what you find a lot of times when you lower a car on stock shocks, then it starts becoming crashy.
Yeah.
But even at stock height, stock shocks just aren't good enough, especially when you're tuning these. But even at stock power, it's just not good enough for the car.
No.
I mean, you can't do this to a stock M140. Just
No, my rear end would be trying to follow us around.
Literally just such a capable car now.
Yeah, it is.
Like I said, I mean, the steering is so direct. I mean, you've got very little input on the steering wheel.
Yeah, there's a lot less movement here to get a lot more movement there.
It's on the back.
It's a good job knowing. And one thing we mentioned before, the wheels are a lot further along, a lot more
Further forward.
Further forward in the car.
Caster.
Yeah, so cool. What are they supposed to do now?
Like and subscribe. Some sort of dingling.
Yeah, Mark's not here, he's in Vegas, but he's...
And also add us on Facebook, add us on Instagram.
Yeah,
we're
that's
on there.
one thing that Mark never mentions.
Yeah, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're always updating. Check our socials. And then if you want anything doing, contact us via email, via Messenger, via Instagram Messenger, which you look after.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, so it's been good.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
And next video will be, hopefully, the M4 R&D.
R&D M4, we're excited with that. Yeah, we've got some big plans for the M4.
Yeah, cool.
We'll see where we go with that.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Cheers.